Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are finally doing another Monster Mash. I know that you guys like spammed comments on all my other videos being like, when's the next Monster Mash? But we're finally doing a Monster Mash today. And so I am currently doing this live on Twitch, and so my Twitch viewers are gonna give me a couple of ideas of what we should mash together today. And I talked to them about it before we started, and we're all kind of in the mood for a Dungeons & Dragons Pokemon fusion. The last time I did this was back in March, and I had so much fun with it, but this time, instead of like randomly picking from a list with a D20, I'm gonna have the Twitch chat send me a couple of ideas to combine today. All right, guys, so the votes are in. The Twitch chat has voted for the monsters we're gonna be mashing today. So first of all, for the Pokemon monster, we either had Swampert, Polteageist, or Jolteon, and the results are, it's tied between Swampert and Polteageist. We might need to do a tiebreaker, or we might do a three-way fusion. I'll look and see how feasible that one is. And then next up, for our D&D monster, we had either a Rust monster, a Mimic, or a Bone Nagga. And the results are a Bone Nagga. All right, let me get some reference images. I'm gonna see if it's possible for us to do a three-way mash. I think we could. And that would be a lot of fun, maybe, to do like just 3 different things. So let me grab some reference images and we'll figure out what we can do with this. Okay, so I usually make us do a tiebreaker when these type of things happen, but I kind of want the challenge of doing the 2 Pokemon plus the Bone Nagga. I have a couple of ideas. Like, one of them would be really cute if the bones were kind of like the porcelain of the teapot. And I think we could get a couple of really cool, like, design elements from a Swampert as well. So we're gonna kind of go, I guess, a little bit of a hard mode and try to figure out how to do both Pokemon plus the Bone Nagga. So let's jump in, let's do some rough sketches and try to figure out how we're gonna combine these. I got a couple of mental images, but yeah, this one's gonna be an interesting combo. So let's jump in. All right, guys, so we are all done with kind of this initial sketching. I usually do a couple of ideas when I do these, but I'm kind of really digging this idea. First of all, this is a very interesting 3 to combine and try to highlight aspects of all of them. And I think this does it really well. We have like the overall body structure of like a Swampert, like with its arms, but then I sprinkled in a bunch of porcelain everywhere. Like I'm picturing any type of bones or even like the larger chunks of arms are made out of like big slabs of porcelain. And then what I'm thinking is this kind of like blobby stuff underneath the character is this like purple ghost remnant that's kind of controlling all these larger bits of like bone porcelain. And I kind of really like that. I think it'd be really cool to have it like kind of peeking out behind the arms and like all up and down the neck and along the body. I think that's gonna look really cool. So let's go ahead and jump in, and I'm gonna do the final pose sketch to try to get a really cool dynamic pose, but also show off the elements. And then we will do some line art and color, and we'll be done. I'll see you guys in a bit. So I was really excited to get back into this Pokemon / D&D fusion thing. And like I said earlier, this was kind of like, I think this is one of the first times I've done like a 3-way fusion. I feel I've done it once before, but I don't do it too often because usually combining 2 creatures is a little bit easier to highlight all the features of both. When you have 3, it can sometimes muddy it a little bit, but I felt this one worked really well. The little teapot Pokemon, which I just forgot the name of out of nowhere. Oh, Polteageist, or Polteageist, I think was what the name of it was. That one's detailing is a little bit more straightforward, and I guess you could call it simple, so it was really easy to apply those details to more of the Swampert. And then same with the Bone Nagga. We got a little bit lucky with the Bone Nagga as well, because we could just kind of pull some bone anatomical bits from that and place it onto this Pokemon. So I think most of the details went to the Swampert and the Poltergeist in terms of like details that made this final Pokemon what it is. And then I think there was some little elements of the Bone Nagga, but not a lot to be like, oh yeah, there's a huge chunk of Bone Nagga there. It's mostly for the like long, slender bones and kind of like the snake attributes to it. Like we have the longer tail here, which the Swampert and the Poltergeist did not have. So that was nice to be able to put that on this Pokemon. I mean, I am calling this a Pokemon because it does look like it could be in the Pokemon universe, if you ask me. For example, my first thought, which I would love to hear your guys' thoughts, leave it down in the comments below on like what setting you think this would be in, or maybe like what type of game. But I was thinking this would be kind of an interesting legendary that maybe possesses like an old mansion. It'd be really cool to go through and battle a bunch of ghost type Pokemon to try to find this specific legendary Pokemon. Maybe since it has porcelain and, you know, has a little teapot for its tail, maybe it's found in one of the kitchens within the mansion. I would assume if it's a giant mansion, there would at least be like 2 kitchens, because I know they used to have the kitchen for like the actual cooks and then the one for show, you know, like this is my very fancy kitchen, which I never use. So I think it'd be really interesting to maybe find it in one of them. Maybe it pulls a Suicune where it jumps away and you have to go find it somewhere else in the mansion or something. I think this one would be really fun as some type of legendary Pokemon. And then maybe it has multiple forms, because with the Poltergeist aspect, and since it's kind of a ghost, I could foresee it being able to transform into different forms. I forgot which Pokemon it is, but I know there are some legendaries that are able to transform into different forms depending on like maybe an item or certain attacks that it will have in those different forms. I could see that for this one as well, and I think that would be a really cool aspect to add into this one. Also, I know I said maybe a kitchen would be where this is discovered, but then I'm like, what about like a tea room or a library or someplace where the residents of this old mansion would have stayed to have like their afternoon tea, or maybe they would have their tea and a snack with a book, you know what I mean? Ooh, that actually sounds really nice. I could totally go for like some good like little cookies and a cup of tea. Oh, I might have to do that this weekend. Anyway, sidetracked. I think it'd be really interesting also, like leading up to battling this legendary, is if it could like summon the dead. Like when you're going up to a gym leader, you battle multiple different trainers before you get to the gym leader. What if in this aspect you battle the ghosts that inhabit this mansion? So this legendary Pokemon can basically summon the dead and at least give them somewhat of a corporeal form. I think that's the right word, corporeal. I don't know. Anyway, but it would be really interesting if you battle like the old tenants of the house and you have ghost like remnants of their Pokemon as well. So let's say you make it to, let's say just the kitchen. So this Pokemon escapes and then you battle the chef, which maybe had all fire type Pokemon, but now they're fire ghost type, literally just for this battle. It'd be so interesting if it still had the same attacks. Like let's say this, this cook had a Charmander, because it's the first fire type that came to my brain. But this one is a ghost fire Charmander. How cool would that be if it had the fire attacks, but maybe it had like a sprinkled in ghost attack in there too? And you would probably have to make slightly different sprites, but I mean, knowing Pokemon, you could probably just make it a little bit translucent, add a little bit of purple to it, and you can still kind of tell that it is a Charmander, you know what I mean? But that would be so cool. You'd battle the chef, and then maybe the next you would battle like the lady of the house, like in her library, and then finally you battle the head of the household, maybe like an older gentleman. I don't know. I'm just trying to predict what Pokemon would do. But you'd battle like this older gentleman that had more of the higher end Pokemon, like maybe a Dragonite or some more powerful Pokemon. And then after you battle the last ghost, then this legendary reveals itself and you can battle it and potentially capture it. And then maybe one of its attacks that it could use, at least right off the top of my head, I can't remember what it's called, but basically what it could do is summon like a ghost that could take its place in terms of taking hit points. I think that'd be kind of interesting to do like a swap. I know there's a name for it, but in this voiceover, it's really escaping me. Where, I think it was Decoy. Was it Decoy? Was that the name of the attack? Where it basically summons a little fake plushie type of Pokemon and it takes some attacks. Like that might be interesting for this one, where it summons a ghost decoy instead for your Pokemon to attack for X amount of rounds. And then it wouldn't take any damage during those rounds. I think that'd be kind of interesting to do. Like its little decoy is like a little teapot. That'd be so adorable. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what you guys think in terms of where this thing would be located, maybe some attacks it has. I also bring it up towards the end, but I'd love to also know what type you think this Pokemon would be, because there was a lot of like talk back and forth in the Twitch chat as well about this, because obviously we'd have a ghost type, like first and foremost, ghost. But then with the teapot aspect and then also the porcelain aspect, it's a little hard to know what the second type would be. Because with porcelain, you could argue it would be a ground type, but with the teapot, it could easily be water or fire. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what cool attacks this thing might have, like existing Pokemon attacks or new ones, maybe the setting that you could picture it in. And then like if you have any ideas of what type it would be, I'd love to hear it down below. All right, guys, we are all done with this Monster Mash, and I love it. It is a combo that I probably didn't really ever predict. I feel I say that all the time. It's something that I never would do on my own, and is just, it basically produces really amazing results that I couldn't have seen coming. I absolutely love this really crazy ghost-like character. What I'm thinking is it's a ghost that possesses like porcelain and like broken dishes and utensils, and basically manipulates it to be able to move around and like attack things. And I just love the overall look and the extra patternings to the porcelain and the colors. I'm really digging it. But if you guys would like to participate in future Monster Mashes or other art streams, please stop by twitch.tv/KMcCaigue, drop me a follow, and I will be streaming every Saturday and Sunday, probably around 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and I would love to see you guys there. So at least in terms of type for this Pokemon, I'm thinking probably like a ghost ground. We talked about it on the Twitch chat quite a bit today. And I just feel with the reasoning they presented with the porcelain kind of being made out of earth, you could say, it seems like it would be a ghost ground, but it was a little hard for me to pick because I'd feel like ghost water or ghost fire could also work in terms of like the teapot aspect. But it's a little tough to pick, so I'd love to hear what you guys think. Do you think this would be a ghost ground, ghost fire, ghost water, whatever type you think it would be, leave it down in the comments below. But anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video, and if you aren't already, I'd super appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, join our little nerdy community, and check out my Patreon. I have some new tiers that are going to be rolling out, and I would love for your guys' support. Help me make this my full-time gig and get some goodies for yourself. But either way, thank you guys again, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody. I'd like to take a moment to thank all my patrons over on Patreon. You guys are amazing. If you guys would like to get the Monster of the Month, the Sketch Postcards of the Month, and the monthly sticker club, or any other behind-the-scenes access to my stuff, go check out my Patreon at patreon.com/KMcCaigue. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you next time.